Hey, do you want to stay ahead of the market regardless of who gets elected next Tuesday? Well, in today's video, we're going to jump into what sectors are likely to do best, whether Kamala gets elected or Trump gets elected. I'm going to be sharing with you the ETFs for the sectors that could benefit from both of the candidates. We'll take a look at the top 5 stocks in each one of these sector ETFs towards the end to find out, oh, are there any names that you might want to be looking at right now? So ICLN is the Clean Energy Global Sector ETF. And approximately, and I'll lay this on here so we can look at it because we're going to be using the same chart over and over again. Here approximately is when Joe Biden took over as the new president. And I find that very interesting because the clean energy stocks actually rallied big time going into the actual inauguration. But then what's happened since? We've actually been on a huge downtrend. It has dropped about 60% since the inauguration. So 60% since the inauguration. Now, I find that very interesting since this administration has been uh, the pro administration for clean energy. So I find that very interesting. And the 5 stocks that we'll be taking a look at later, you'll go, huh, I don't know if we're going to watch those or not. What about technology space? And here's the technology sector. And again, going to the same point in time, which is about right there. Technology is up about 74% since the Biden administration took over. Uh, after a slight pullback, in October, towards October of 2022, we've been rallying ever since. And so positive that technology has been going up to the upside. Technology might see a boost if Harris is elected because she will probably continue to support AI infrastructure and data security measures and pass laws that will be more restrictive on our freedom of use of things like the internet and that type of thing, and a little bit probably um, monitoring of what we, the people, are out there doing. And so I don't know if you want to call those innovation friendly policies, maybe towards the big business, the big companies that have the technology. I don't know if it's going to be too friendly to us. Personal opinion, but all I can tell is, the leopard doesn't change its spots very often. Next up is healthcare. Healthcare is always one of those a favorite topic and also sector for um, the Democrats. And in this particular case, how has it done since the inauguration of Joe Biden? Well, it's gone up. And how long has it gone up? It's gone up about 25% over the last 4 years. And so, definitely not a barn burn. So, okay, so these 3 sectors are the sectors that could do well if Kamala Harris becomes the president next Tuesday. Of course, she'll be sworn in January. So stick around. I'm going to be sharing what the main stocks are in each one of those sectors. Now, if President Trump wins, I would look for a move up in XLE, which is the leverage, not the leverage, but the energy sector ETF. And if we go to now, you got to remember that the energy sector has actually gone up 102% under the Biden administration. I find that very interesting, and you kind of go, well, what's going on there? The big climb was right here during the first, and this is what they called the COVID rally, and then it topped off about the June 2022, and then has more or less since then, energy has just been going sideways, Additional drilling has opened up, and maybe the ability to refine product goes into effect that could drive the price and the value of the these companies that we discussed later, up dramatically. The next thing is financials. And you might go, well, why would financials go up under a Trump presidency? Well, he's a businessman. The last time he was president, it seemed like the financials, the banks, and all kind of stuff liked doing business with him because he was basically a fairly straight shooter, and they knew what to expect because he was a businessman. And so, how has it done since President Biden came into office? It's up also about 50%. Not a burner, and however, it's certainly doing well. And so we could open the door for, the big thing on the banks is if deregulation kicks in, that could provide additional opportunity for growth for the big players here. ITA, that is the U.S. Aerospace Defense Fund. How's it done since Joe Biden came into office? Well, it's up about 54%. So as you see with a lot of these ETFs or sector ETFs, the worst case was, of course, the drop of 60% on the clean energy one, but all the rest of them, they've done pretty well and continue to grow. President Trump's preference is to re-outfit the U.S. military to make it once again the strongest military in the world. Hey, if these sectors may benefit from President Trump retaking office, but stay tuned. I'm going to be basically showing you the stock picks that are going to go with each one of these. The 5 top stocks on each ETF, and I'll go back to the ETF and I'll just read off what the top stocks are. First one was clean energy. So in clean energy, the first stock that came up is, again, this is the top 5 holdings in the clean energy space. In-phase energy, ENPH. Solar technology, that's SEDG. Then Vestas Wind Systems, that's V as in Victor, WS. First Solar, FSLR. Some of you may have been investing in First Solar for a long time. And then Consolidated Edison, that's ED. Not the other kind of ED, but that's so that's it for that. Then technology. What about technology? Technology. Well, it's it's kind of the big 4. A couple of these really surprise me, though. Apple, that doesn't surprise me. AAPL, Microsoft, that doesn't surprise me. MSFT, NVDA, that doesn't surprise me. NVDA, of course. And then what about Visa? Now, Visa surprised me. That's a V. And MasterCard, MA. I find it very interesting that those would come out on and be part of in the top 5 holdings of the technology sector Spider ETF. Very interesting. What about healthcare? Healthcare is basically XLV. So here's a big 5 on this one. Number 1 is UNH. That's United Health Group. J&J, Johnson & Johnson. LLY, Eli Lilly. And then Merck, MRK, and Pfizer, PHE. PHE. Next up is the energy sector. So that's XLE. XLE. Top holding the energy sector is Exxon, XOM, Chevron's number 2, CVX, ConocoPhillips, COP, EOG Resources, EOG Resources, and then Schlumberger, that's NV, and then the ticker is SLB. One of the things here's a surprise for you, is you may also want to keep your eye on XOP. That is the ETF for the energy exploration. In other words, they're the ones who go out and find sources of energy so that people can drill and all kind of stuff. That's XOP. On the financials, Okay, the first on the financials is Berkshire Hathaway. That's BRK.B. JP Morgan, JPM. Bank of America, BAC. Wells Fargo, WFC. And Citicorp, C. And again, now I am not saying that any of those are ready to buy or that you should make your portfolio to be, the same as these. What I am saying is that this is what is in the top 5 holdings within this sector ETF. ITA, the first one is Raytheon, RTX, Lockheed Martin, LMT, Northrop Grumman, NOC, believe it or not, Boeing, BA, and General Dynamics, GD. Which of the stocks and or sector ETFs do you find the most interesting that you may be willing to put your money in? And here's a little tease going into, I'm going to put out one more video about working up into the election. It's going to be about crypto and Bitcoin. Who benefits? Will Bitcoin and crypto, will it rally under Trump or rally under Harris? Great questions, because they both have a different perspective of crypto. So, I won't spill the beans on that. You'll have to come back for that. Now that you know the sectors that might thrive, you're set to make informed investment moves as election day approaches and passes. For more strategies to improve your trading consistency, check out my next video. It'll be up there, and it'll always help you stay ahead of the trading curve. Aloha. God bless everybody.